welcome to Wrestle Talk with a Rabbit Beaver. And joining me today is the most lethal man in all of sports entertainment, because all it takes is one, baby, and he's going to give it to you the right way. It is Roosevelt. Andrew Conyers is with us today. Roosevelt, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing so good, man. Thank you for having me on the show. What's going on, everybody? This is the man who likes to fight, Roosevelt Conyers, man. What's going on?
Well, we're just interested in you. We got to see you a couple weeks back, and you were phenomenal inside the ring, and it really piqued our interest about you. And also, we got to see you at the Sermo Invitational that was happening in his honor and at his place. And I thought, what a great opportunity it would be to have the man himself come on and give us his story from the very beginning. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely, man. Let's do it.
All right. So how did you break into the business? Who trained you? And how did you excel the way that you did?
Oh, man. So I first started in Union City, New Jersey. Before I became a professional wrestler, I was a boxer. So I did some boxing for training. I first started doing the boxing aspect for anger management. I was just an angry guy who just needed something to hit just to get it all out. And I found out that hitting people is illegal unless you're in the ring. So I went to this boxing gym in Raleigh. I started boxing under this very famous, very well-known boxer, Bonnie Mann. She was the WBC women's champion for several times. And I started training under her with the boxing. And I quickly realized that I had a love for combat sports. I don't know where it came from, but I had a love for it. It was the energy that just compelled me into being a part of it. And I found out that I was a perfectionist. So going into it for anger management didn't work because I would get mad if I didn't do something perfect. So I did the boxing for a while, and then I moved back to New York, and I was working with an agency for the modeling and acting. So I do modeling and I do acting as well. And I was working there, and there was a manager there. She connected me with a guy that put me on some boxing matches. And I did the New York Daily News Golden Gloves tournament in New York, in Brooklyn. And after my first tournament, I didn't win the tournament. I lost by 1 point by decision, which was fine. I had so much fun. And the manager at the agency, she was like, well, you're not getting any more fights. I don't really see anybody really coming at you like wanting to fight. So how would you like to give professional wrestling a try? And I was like, what time and where? Like no second thought at all. Like what time and where? So we started going from Brooklyn all the way to New Jersey, which is I want to say it's like a 2 to 3 hour ride to go to training. And I met up with this guy, Mike Morgan of Ace Pro Wrestling out there, and this is where Jay Lethal used to train at. This is where Sonny Kiss trained at. Anybody in the New York and New Jersey area, in the tri-state area, trained at Ace Pro Wrestling. So I started training there with Lady Lee, was the agent name from the acting agency, because she was a professional wrestler. So I started training under her. I had my first match there in 2009, working with TMPW, under Mambo King out there. Worked with Gino Caruso for a little while, and then I moved back to North Carolina, and then I started moving around trying to figure things out. And I met up with this guy named Sean Dudley, became my best friend. He passed about 5 years ago. He had a movie that he was doing. It's called 30 to 35. And I got casted in this movie, and me and him were just sitting there. We was talking. We was just chopping it up. And he was like, yeah, man, da-da-da. I said, yeah, I do professional wrestling. He was like, really? He said, we wrestle at. I said, well, I was wrestling in New York, but I haven't found anywhere here yet. And so he was like, I got a guy that can introduce you to somebody. So he introduced me to his guy. His guy introduced me to Count Grog of Gouge Pro Wrestling here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Count Grog has been the man in independent wrestling. Like his company, before it was Gouge, used to be something else, and it used to be like the developmental for WWE for a very long time. For like a lot of his guys would go down and work extra talent matches and things like that. And I got introduced Grog, works his first match. My first match with him, at a show in Apex, North Carolina. The guys I wrestled against, I was like, yo, man, you should come to this company out here in Castalia. I was like, okay. And I get out there, and it's my first experience of realizing what backyard wrestling was. Because these guys had a ring set up behind somebody's mom's house. Like, she had a whole trailer, and it was set up. And I was like, I don't really see myself being involved with these guys very long, because from what I was told, backyard wrestling is a no-no. Like,
no, right. It's
no, don't do that. But these guys were so talented. Like, it was this guy named T-Bone, this guy named Rise, who was like almost 7 foot tall, was so athletic. Jordan O'Neal, Jay Smooth, like a bunch of these guys was just so amazing. Like Kendall Williams, Raymond King, man, it's like so many different guys. And I was like, yo, won't you guys wrestle in a building? Like, won't you guys get a building? He was like, oh, well, it's so hard for us to get a building. I said, well, if I can get you guys a building, would you utilize it? And I was like, yeah. I said, all right. So I introduced them to this after school program building, this community center in Smithfield that I used to work at. I used to do security for them. I used to do parades with them and things like that. So I was like, yo, let me talk to the guy that runs this building, and I can get you guys in there. So I did that. I got them in there. We started doing shows in buildings, and they started building up money, making money, and then they started getting other buildings to kind of get themselves going. And from there, I just kept talking to people, kept networking. I talked to guys like Michael Devine, Ali Steele, D Mac of the Gorilla Squad, just conversating with them like, yo, man, what should I do? How should I get better? And it was like, where did you go? I said, I'm going to work for WWE. And a lot of the guys looked at me like, this guy, like, who do you think he is? He's going to work for the WWE one day? Like, all right, whatever. But I did. I ended up doing it. Several years later, I got an opportunity to work on NXT. I worked for Monday Night Raw. I've been a Jessica Lashley, Lashley's sister. Like, I've done a lot of different things, man, just from networking, communicating with people, meeting people. I was just talking to my son earlier, and he was like, yeah, Dad, wouldn't it be cool if you met Bret the Hitman Hart? I said, I have. And he's like, no, you didn't. I said, no, I really have. Like, I met him at a seminar in Nashville, Tennessee, my very first time going to Tennessee. Drove all the way to Nashville. Chase Stevens from TNA, he introduced me to this opportunity, and just been networking and just doing some different things, man. Like, I 16 years in, going in on 17 this September. I mean, having nothing but fun, man.
Yeah, and it sounds like it. It sounds like you've had a great rise in professional wrestling, and you've moved the way that you wanted to move in the business. And it seems like you still got a lot more to do, a lot more that you don't want to be satisfied with where you're at. You're always hungry. You're always looking for better opportunities and something to come along to show your experience and your depth. The real question comes, do you think a lot of people overlook you now because of age? Do you think that has something to play with it?
I don't know. And that's been a question of mine for a very long time, of what is the issue and what is keeping people from saying, yo, this is the man we need to give a chance. I think it's more so of their fear of realizing, yo, this dude just keeps going. He keeps getting better. It's a situation where they're going to feel like, okay, if we give this guy an opportunity, we can't hold him back. There's no way we're going to be able to just tell him, all right, just do this for a while, and then we have to shoot him through the moon. Undoubtedly. And that's not me just talking big or, trying to be cocky or big-headed. I just feel as though when people see me in the ring versus hearing about me, they're like, this is different. This is different. For 16 years, I wrestled as a guy named Victor Andrews, a character that I came up with. And Sir Mo, God rest his soul, I wrestled for him, worked for his company, and he had me booked on the show and put my real name on the flyer. So my real name is Roosevelt Conyers. And he put my real name on the flyer. And so I reached out and I said, hey, flyer looks great. I'm very appreciative. I'm very excited. You guys put my real name on the flyer. I don't wrestle as Roosevelt. I wrestle as Victor Andrews. And his response was, I'm not changing it. Cut a promo, be mad.
Wow.
I was like, who? I mean, he my uncle and everything, but who he talking to? Like, who is he? Okay, all right, don't even worry about it. And I did the promo, and it felt so natural that I just leaned into it. And I was talking to my homeboy, my best friend now, Brian. We was talking over the podcast that we run, the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And we were talking about, he was like, bro, you need to just lean into it. And I was like, well, how do I make Roosevelt different from Victor Andrews? And I sat back and I was like, well, I need to change my gear. And money is an issue. Money is always an issue. So getting new gear was not going to happen. And wrestling under the old gear with my name, the old name on there, was not going to work either. So I sat back and I was like, well, every time I go to a show, before I get into the ring to do the show, a lot of the guys would come up to me and say, hey, man, could you work on this with me? Or could you try this? Or you want to move around or whatever? And I would always do it in my suit. I would always be in my whole suit. And they were like, yo, you're not going to change? Like, for what? I'm just going to move around. Like, I don't need change. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrestle in the suit. And when I started telling people, it was like, you're not going to wrestle in the suit. Like, that's crazy. Like, we don't believe it. And I started doing it. And then people was like, first of all, that's intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary. You just wrestled in a whole suit. You're not even winded. You're not tired. You're not sweating. You're not dirty. You didn't rip anything. Who does that? You know? And so I just lean into it. And man, it's like, it's giving me more opportunities because now people are like, I want to see this in person. I heard about it, but I want to see this. I want to see if this man really wrestles in a suit. And I just get in there and get busy. And my thing is, I don't need fancy outfits to fight.
Right.
I just like to fight. And I'm just get in there and just get busy.
Well, as we said earlier, all it takes is one, and that's the truth. All it takes is one from Roosevelt Connors to put you on the canvas and for you to be down 1, 2, 3 anytime that you're in the ring with him. And whether you're in a suit or not, that's all it takes is just one, baby. And Roosevelt, we really have a high hopes for you in the future moving forward. We have high hopes for you for everything to move with your career the way we want it, the way that you want it to go, and the way that we would like to see you on a trajectory shooting towards the roof. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's age that holds you back. I think it's like you said, the promoter's limited vision and ability that holds you back. But once they realize that you're the diamond in the rough, there's no stopping you on how high you can go or where you can go. And the great thing is you haven't burnt bridges with people that are very prominent inside the business. I've spoken to a lot of people. I've asked a lot of people before we asked you to come on the show, and everybody had something very positive to say about you. That's very rare in this business because you come across a promoter somewhere that hates your guts sometimes, but everybody loves you, Roosevelt. I don't know how you do it.
Hey man, I'm just an easygoing guy. I live on the motto for as long as I can remember of I'm easygoing until, and I don't allow myself to get until, because if I get to the until,
right,
right, so
yeah,
the fist. So I'm very easygoing. I don't allow myself to get flustered or bothered by anything. I don't argue. I don't like conflict. I don't like violence. I just like to fight. You know, and it sounds crazy, but you know, at the end of the day, as long as I control me and I don't allow anyone else to control me, I'm good. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I want. I can excel however I want. I live with a mindset of Goku from Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned earlier that I like to be able to find ways to get better and better competition. Like, that's my mindset, is knowing that there's somebody out there better than me and I want to go in there and I want to fight them. I want to see what they're all about, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this MMA fight at the end of the month. Yeah. So
we got some little stuff. It's the Secret Society, I believe, is where it's going to be coming from. Let's put it up on the screen for you. The Secret Society right here, Roosevelt, you're going to be facing right off at 5 p.m. Eastern time on February 27th on the Flex TV network. For those that have it, you can RSVP it, and it's going to be in Pasquini, New York, I believe, or I hope I said that right. Pasquini, New York, at 9 Railroad Avenue. So for those of you that are interested, come on out and see Roosevelt Connor right there at the Secret Society, February 27th. He's going to be in action, live and in action.
Yeah, so that's the name of the event. The name of the company is called Flex Fight Series, and that is a small village in Long Island, New York. So if you guys are familiar with Long Island, New York, that's where the fight is going to be. This young man is going to be my opponent. Right now, his record is 2-0 in amateur MMA. I will be walking in brand new debut 0-0-0. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like a lot of people don't know that I really do that. I really do MMA. I really do boxing. I still train with my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I still do a lot of different things to keep myself being better or one step ahead of the next person. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this fight was to see, just the experience. I don't really foresee myself doing many fights. I don't foresee myself trying to get a fight every couple of months. I'm just going to go in there and have fun. You know what I'm saying? I want to go in there. This guy's 20 years younger than me. He trained. This is all he do. He's an MMA fighter. Like he trains for MMA. But I feel like he's going to have a problem. He's going to have a problem because there's no video of me out there with my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's no video of me with my boxing. All he knows is I'm a professional wrestler coming into his world. And I really feel like he's probably going to go into the mindset of he's either going to knock me out or tap me out. And the last 2 fights that he's won has been by submission. And I talked to a couple of guys. His stand-up is okay. His boxing is okay, but it's not to the effect where it would affect me in any way. Like, I think I would be able to hold my own in terms of stand-up. It's just whenever he tries to shoot and do a takedown, I think he may try to go with that game plan, but I'm well-versed in that as well. So I'm excited, man. 44 years old, fighting in MMA, still doing a professional wrestling. Look, I love fighting so much that I'm looking for a booking in wrestling the very next day. Okay. I'm going to do my MMA fight on the 27th, and I'm looking for a wrestling match on the 28th in New York, New Jersey, North Carolina. I don't care. Give me a booking. I want to be able to just wrestle and fight the entire weekend, man. And I'm excited, man. I got so much energy right now. Just thinking about it, like I just want to go to the gym now.
Well, you mentioned something very important. You're saying that you're coming back into his world, and all he knows is that you're a professional wrestler walking back into his world. Do you think that there's resentment there, like there is for people that come into the wrestling business from the other side? Do you think there's a lot of resentment that he's going to hold towards you to see if you can hold your
own? There could be. I don't really know the guy. I don't know what his personality may be. He may be somebody that says, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm competing in a fight. Whoever the guy is, doesn't matter. My mindset is, you're not my enemy. You're just my opponent. I've even reached out to him and say, hey, man, let's shoot some promos. Let's hype this up a little bit. Let's get people excited about seeing this fight. He has not read the message yet. I'm hoping that he will see it and we'll cut some promos. I already dropped my videos a couple of times to the marketing people, so we'll see what happens. But I think with the two worlds, there's always been this: you don't belong here, you don't belong here. But it's a way for it to mesh together. We've seen it. We've seen it with Bobby Lashley going from WWE to Bellator. We've seen it with Brock Lesnar, UFC and WWE. We've seen it with Ronda Rousey. We've seen it with Marina Shafir, Shayna Baszler, Ken Shamrock, just go way back to that point. Steve Blackman, we've seen it work before. So I don't think we've seen it on the independent level, though. That's the difference.
That's very interesting because, there still is big money in the independent fight scene. There still is big money that's out there, even qualifying matches for a big fight. There's big money that's available to it. And like you said, you said that you were looking for new gear and that you're wrestling inside that suit. You might be looking for a new suit here pretty soon if you come out on top. Right there at the Secret Society. So I'm gonna be rooting for you. I'm gonna be looking for you. Also, we also know that it looks like the 27th of February. Let me make sure that I've got my information right. At American Warrior Wrestling Alliance, you're gonna be making a return. Is that correct?
That is the 21st. So the 27th is going to be the MMA fight. The 21st, I will be making a turn to American Warrior Wrestling Alliance. We are making a debut in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. First had the opportunity with these guys in Phoenix, Arizona. Had an amazing time. The owner, Vikram the Strong, is an amazing guy. I met him years ago without dealings with WWE and Ring of Honor. And this is our debut, bringing the company to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm excited, man. I have not wrestled in Pittsburgh before. I've been to Pittsburgh, but to be able to have the opportunity to step in the ring in Pittsburgh, I'm excited.
Yeah, and that's going to be 2125 Beacon Street in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as you were saying, 15132. You can catch the fight on YouTube. You can scan that QR code if you can get it on your screen big enough for you. Scan that QR code right now and get your tickets today. You don't want to miss a moment of the action at American Warrior Wrestling Alliance, which Roosevelt Conyers is going to be returning to the big show right there. And then also, I do believe that you've got the Spring Brawl going to be taking place Saturday, March 14th, 2026, down there in Sherwood, Arkansas.
So that is another company that I've worked with before, but I've been sharing their information. You guys, please, definitely. I'm a very big fan of professional wrestling, whether it's the AEW, Ring of Honor, or Independence, man. So I'm always sharing people's flyers. So that is another company that you guys should definitely support and check out, man. Just support independent wrestling, man. I'm excited for these guys. I would love to be able to have an opportunity with them soon. So we'll see what happens.
And you never know what you're going to see on the independent scene. You could see the next John Cena today and remember that you got to see him in Arkansas on that very faithful day, March 14th, 2026. So why don't you get out there and have some fun, guys? And then, of course, we already talked about it, February 27th, the Secret Society in Long Island, New York. You're going to be having some fun out there. So we've got all that planned for you. And then, of course, I do believe you're going to be making yourself an entrance Friday, March 13th in none other than Newport, Tennessee at crowning moment for Prodigy Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited about this. This is a big opportunity for everybody that's involved with this tournament to be able to say that they got an opportunity to step in the ring with Roosevelt, the fighter. Not that they got an opportunity to win the championship. Not that they got an opportunity to work for Prodigy Pro, but they got the opportunity to step in the ring with me and lose. That's just how it's going to go, man. I'm going to walk out with the championship. It's Friday the 13th. So everybody that's not me is going to have a string of bad luck, and they're going to be sent home packing with an empty suitcase.
Absolutely. And we spoke to Casey Kazana about 2 weeks ago on our channel. You can go back and rewatch it if you want. But he said that he's not afraid of you and that he would be more than willing to send you home packing. And I told him, I said, I don't think that's going to happen because all it takes is one, baby. All it's going to take is one. And it's 1, 2, 3 down for the count. So what do you have to say to that?
You don't have to be afraid to lose.
Very true.
You don't have to be afraid to lose. You just got to know that you're going to lose. So, Casey, I've been talking to this man for a very long time. I've been telling him, look, one day we're going to step in the ring with each other. And when that day happens, I'll be walking out and you'll be crawling out.
Hey, and it's very true. And we just saw a little flyer on the screen for Kentucky Championship Wrestling. Let me get that pulled right back up for you. Now, we were speaking a little bit earlier, but it looks like one of your friends has got a major title there. Mr. Sean Cruz has ended up becoming a big title holder right there at Kentucky Championship Wrestling for Ascension. And it looks like, you two have had some history in the past. Does it make you a little bit jealous that he's got that right before you did?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm very proud of Sean Cruz. I'm always a big Sean Cruz fan. So I'm always rooting for him. I'm a Sean Cruz guy. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I just know that Sean Cruz better keep his behind in Kentucky with that championship. he better tell the Kentucky Championship Wrestling not to allow me to come into that arena, because if I come in the arena and it's me and him in the ring, first of all, we're going to pack the house. Second of all, we're going to tear the roof off. And third of all, I'm going to leave with the championship. That's just simple math.
And I think that's a very fair observation, to be honest, from where I'm sitting. And no offense to Sean Cruz, he was the Godfather at one point in time, and he has now moved on being the champion of all champions. But there's just something that rubs me the wrong way when he steps into the ring with Roosevelt, Andrew Connors. I think that it's going to turn into all business, and when it's all business and it's all said and done, you would walk away the champion, sir.
Absolutely, man. You got to see some of the battles me and him have. We've had an Iron Man match where we went in there and just tore each other apart, man. I ended up walking out the winner of that match, but I think more so the fans and everyone that was watching the stream and the video won more, because they got an opportunity to really see two men get in there and just get busy.
Absolutely. And then FSPW presents the Afterburner. Now, you said you're not going to be a part of this, but you have lots of people on this card. Go ahead and talk about it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man. Firestar Pro Wrestling, man. Shout out to them. The owner, LeBron Cozone, the creator of Superstars. This company is where the now known as Javon Evans, Ian Jackson Drake came from. Blade Brown is on this company, and he is right now the Firestar heavyweight champion. I'm so proud of this dude. Been working with him for a very long time. I actually just saw him this past Saturday. We did some MMA training together. But I'm so happy for him, so proud of him. And he's going to be there defending his championship. We got Leah Knight that's going to be there. We got Elliot Shock, who's amazing talent as well, man. So shout out to Firestar Pro Wrestling, man. Like I said, I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. So please support independent wrestling. Please support Firestar Pro Wrestling.
That's going to be taking place Thursday, March 5th, right there at 12 J. Wendy Court, Greensboro, North Carolina. You guys do not want to miss a moment of that action. The doors will be opening at 6:30 p.m. The show starts at 7 p.m., and you all want to be there to see all the good action from Firestar Pro Wrestling as it comes out. Now, I've got to ask you, you like to promote for everybody. You like to put out on your page for everybody. Is it because you want to see the business take off and be in a better place, or is it just for the love of the business?
Both answers, man. Professional wrestling keeps me sane. It keeps me from not being in jail, not being in an early grave. Like, it keeps me going. If I didn't have professional wrestling, I think I would have lost my mind a long time ago. I love watching my friends get busy. I love watching my friends excel and win and get major opportunities. I love seeing companies work together and come together. This past August, we did an event, Mall Mania, in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Four Seasons Mall. That's where you were speaking about the Sir Mo Invitational Battle Royal. And me and Brian's mindset of putting this together is the first, bringing awareness to autism. We work with Blue Hearts for Autism, so we're bringing awareness to autism, and also to do something for the community, do something for the city, and do something for professional wrestling, bring companies together. And so when we did the first event, we was like, well, how can we make this special? And I said, well, there's a lot of guys that I work with that I'm very well connected to, who work for several different companies like UPW, Newborn Wrestling, Carolina Slam Jam, ESW, Firestar, companies all over the world, USA Main Event, SOAR, DOIWA, AIWF, like all these different companies that I have opportunities and worked with. I was like, I want everyone to work together. I want to be able to be that bridge to say, this company can work with this company, this guy can work with this guy. Because at the end of the day, we're so close niche together that you're using the same talent anyway. So why not everybody just come together and work together? So me and Brian kind of forced it to happen, and it worked so well that everybody was like, yo, we can work together, can't we? Yes, we can. And so we started utilizing talent from different companies and we say, hey, what championship do you have? I have the Firestar Championship. All right, defend it. What championship do you have? I have the UPW championship. All right, defend it. I have the MATW tag team champions. All right, defend them. We're going to bring all these companies together. And I just love to promote professional wrestling because I know a lot of these companies are doing great. A lot of these companies have so many talent that are doing great. And my thing is, the more eyes that's on the product, the better it is for everybody, right?
I was just about to say that because you never know who's going to be in the crowd, and you never know if it's their first time ever seeing this couple or this group, this tag team come together, or whoever's inside the ring. It's the first time they ever seen them, but it may leave the lasting impression to make them a fan for life and to bring money for life to the business, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Is everybody wants to get paid, everybody wants to have a good time, and everybody wants to be safe. Those are the three main things in professional wrestling that we all want. Of course, everybody wants success. They want to have their names in the lights, they want to see their name on the marquee. But at the end of the day, we all want to be able to work together, make money together, and be able to put ourselves in a position to where the business is always rolling as a well-oiled machine for everybody that comes in that is of worth to make the money that they deserve.
Absolutely, man. And I tell people all the time, man, everybody that I'm connected with, I tell them, man, if I put my hands on you, I'm going to help you be better at the end of the day. Like, no matter what, if we're in a match and I put my hands on you, you're going to be better when we get done. If we're in the locker room, we're having a conversation, you're going to be better when we get done. If we're at a training session, you're going to be better when we get done. You're going to be tired, but you're going to be better for it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, I just love professional wrestling. I love helping my friends out. I love making connections. I'm always a big advocate of, if I can do it, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't look for nothing in return, because for what? I don't do things with hopes of someone doing something for me, because that's selfish. That's selfishness, and that's entitlement.
Yeah.
I don't have none of that in me. I just want to do things because you should just want to do things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like, I can talk all day about professional wrestling. Like, I just love it. I can talk about combat sports altogether.
Well, you got to be self-motivated. I think that's something that's really missing a lot of times. Like, because you got a lot of guys, and no offense to anybody who's in indie wrestling currently that is dealing with this, but you have a lot of guys and they can only get booked at one show, and they don't know how to really talk to branch themselves out, and how to show up to help set up the ring, and how to promote themselves in such a manner and carry themselves in such a manner so that they can move beyond just the one show, the 15 miles from their house or 30 miles from their house. And so it's very important, like you said, that when you're in the ring with somebody, you're going to make them better, because you're going to be showing them things that's going to be helping them. And then vice versa, everybody pays dues. It doesn't matter where you started in this business. We were cleaning toilets for 2.5 years. That's how we got started with Harley Race. We were cleaning toilets with Harley Race. And, it moved out from there to selling tickets, to being security, to setting up the ring, tearing down the ring, so we learned the school of hard knocks. Like, he wanted to see if we were really in it for the business. And there was lots of people who left, lots of people who ran away. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think we made the right decision, even if we didn't get along all the time, even if the boss, we call him the boss, Harley was the boss. Even if the boss said some stuff that was harsh, you just had to take it sometimes, because at the end of the day, he was looking out for you, whether you realized it or not. And that's what's going on in some of these places, is these guys, they don't realize it, but they're in the ring with people who can help them if they'll just listen, and they can help them get booked at other shows if they'll just talk to them. You don't have to stay where you're at. And you're a great example of hustle, because as long as you're willing to talk to somebody, they're willing to help you. As long as you're willing to ride with somebody, they're willing to help you. Is that not true?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. And a lot of my success came from talking to people. When I mentioned Bret Hart, I met Chase Stevens at an independent show. Sat there, had a conversation with him, laughed, joked, him and Cassidy Haynes, just talking, man. And, exchanged phone numbers. And then he, out of nowhere, gives me a call and says, "Hey, man, where you at?" "I'm home." "Can you come to Nashville, Tennessee?" "Where is that?" Because I'm from New York, so going outside of North Carolina was not a big thing for me. I was like, "Well, where is that?" "Oh, just you take I-40 and you just keep going." I'm like, I think so. Why? You know, because I'm like, why am I going to Tennessee? I didn't lose anything in Tennessee. And he said, well, I got an opportunity for you to come meet Bret the Hitman Hart. Come do a seminar. Yeah, absolutely. Call my homeboy up. Yo, we got to go to Tennessee. What's going on? Bret Hart's seminar. Gas up the focus, and we were gone. And then going from that to talking to different people from there. Going to WWE and talking to people. Going to Ring of Honor and talking to people. And just making connections, becoming friends. I became friends with somebody like Beer City Bruiser, Jay Lethal, Caprice Coleman, Dalton Castle, Tommaso Ciampa, Velveteen Dream, Otis Dokovic, Tucker, Bobby Lashley, R-Truth, man. Like I became friends with people I watched on TV. Cedric Alexander, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had connections with these people. Ricky Morton he called him on the phone. Hey, what's going on? How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like just have those opportunities, man. That you only get that by opening mouth and speaking. You only get that by making connections and networking and doing different things and talking to people, giving your phone number out, thinking of things outside the box. For a very long time, I was the very first and only independent wrestler with my own mobile app. For a very long time, I was the only independent wrestler with a business card where you can tap it on your phone and it'll pop right up. You know what I'm saying? With a QR code or just, the dot card. For a long time, I was the only independent wrestler with my own cardboard cutout that when you press the button or you walk past it, it spoke to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's thinking outside the box. For a long time, I was the only one walking around in a suit, showing up to shows. Everybody's wearing Zumbas at the time. And I was like, why is this guy always dressed up? I got told from promoters, man, I really appreciate it. I love it. You don't have to do it all the time. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. It's because it's me. It's in me. It's been in me from the modeling. It's been in me from the acting. It's my mother, my grandmother would always say, you go representing yourself. You go looking presentable. You don't just show up anywhere just and wear anything. And that's got me so many different opportunities to where I met Steve Corino and then he invited me to Ring of Honor and I started working with things with there and meeting Bob Evans and then working with him and working with Cheeseburger and having this camaraderie with these guys, you know what I'm saying? To Will Ferreira and Rhett Titus, like Kenny King, and having a conversation with these guys. I'm like, yo, this is so cool. And then getting invited to NXT and then doing different things and talking to people. And funny story. So I went down to NXT and I was told what I was doing. I was doing a match. It's me and Lars Sullivan against Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. And we're sitting in the locker room. We're just having this conversation about what we want to do for the night. And Ricky Morton walks up. And me and him started chopping up, just laughing, joking, having a conversation, just catching up for old times. I think it's been like a year since I had seen him during that time. And he looked at the guys and said, hey, this is my buddy. You guys take care of him. He's going to take care of you. He's going to make you guys look good. Make sure you listen to him. And he's going to make sure you guys look good, okay? And it was like, yeah, thank you. He said, okay, I'm sorry to bother you guys. I didn't mean to interrupt. And it was like, no, you can interrupt anytime. And he walked away, and the guys looked at me, and it was like, Ricky Morton? And I was like, yeah, that's of course, I've known Ricky for years. And I was like, it was like, yo, that is so cool. Like, oh my God, like, so tell us about him. I was like, well, what do you mean? You tell us about Ricky Morton. Like, how do you know him? And da da da. I said, you never met Ricky Morton? Man, that was our first time, man. Like, I'm marking out right now. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on right now? Like, you guys don't know who Ricky Morton is? And so, just having these big opportunities, man, and then being connected to these guys and making connections and networking and meeting R-Truth through a Zoom call for a company that I worked with, and then seeing him in person and just having a conversation and laughing and joking and, all these different things, man. Like, you're only going to get that if you open your mouth and speak to people. At the end of the day, there's still people. You know what I'm saying? I've never been afraid of anything. I've never been afraid of talking to people. I've never been afraid of networking. I've never been afraid to get myself out there. We used to be at Ring of Honor, help set up the ring. I would go and change my clothes when we got done setting up the ring and then jump in the ring with the guys.
Yeah.
And then when people would be like, yo, man, you can't just jump in that ring. Who? Until somebody tells me I got to get out the ring, I'm getting in the ring. Because why not? What else am I here for?
Right. Who's going to stop you?
What else am I here for? And doing that got me an opportunity to talk to Truth Martini and work with him and doing a specific training exercise with Kobe Carino where we were trying to do different types of arm drags. And he was like, "Can you do this kind of arm drag?" "Yes, I can." "All right, show me." And then I did it. And he was like, "Oh, okay, that was very impressive." And then he was like, "What is your name? Who are you?" And then getting an opportunity to stand in the ring, and then Bob Evans just walks across the ring and he locks up with me, and we start chain wrestling and moving around to the point where we was going so good that the entire ring just cleared out, and we started working. You know what I'm saying? And then that became Bob Evans is now Uncle. He's Uncle Bob, you know. And then he would call me up, "Hey, I got this opportunity. Can you get here? Got this opportunity in Colorado. Can you get here?" You know what I'm saying? And I took advantage of all these opportunities because I networked. I could make connections. I just went out there and put myself out there because at the end of the day, no one is going to say, "Hey, you got to look."
And that's true in everything in life. It's not just professional wrestling. It's podcasting. It's running a radio show. It's being a host for another radio show. Whenever we have to get guests, we have to go out there. We can't be afraid to ask. We can't be afraid to ask if you want to come on the show, what dates you're available. These are the dates we have available. What would you like to talk about? Is there anything off limits? You have to know up front your guests. You have to be very impressive with your guest coming up. So it's not just wrestling, but it's everything that's attached in life. If you work hard, you're going to play hard at the end of it. And that's all that matters is you work hard, you play hard, and things start happening eventually. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be a year from now. It might not be 5 years from now. But if you just keep on and you keep chugging it through, and like you said, you connect with the right people eventually, and those right people see the diamond that you are, and they put you on the pedestal that you deserve. They put you in the right piece of jewelry. Is that not true?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
And Roosevelt, I mean, it's happened all through your career. And, you know, I believe in God. I believe God does things. I don't know how you believe, but
absolutely. I believe the same.
I believe that sometimes you have to be willing to put yourself out there. And if you're willing to do that, God opens doors for you that no man can close. And he sends you to the places that you don't think that you'd be involved in. 6 years ago, we were completely out of the business. We were completely out of everything. And I thought that it was over with. I mean, I really thought it was over with. I thought that I was never going to get the opportunity to host, run, do commentary, be involved in any way other than just to be a fan again. But I determined that I was going to be the most super fan that I could be with any company that I could get involved with. I was going to help in any way possible when they asked me to do it. And 2 years ago, I got the opportunity to break back into radio and break back into commentary. And I'm just going to tell you, it's a wild, crazy business because I would have never thought in a million years that it was going to open itself back up because of the way things that went down. But you know what? We kept pushing and we kept trying and we kept moving and we just kept trying to help. And it turned around for us. And that's with anything in your lives. If you're out there, if you just keep trying and you keep putting yourself out there and you keep showing yourself faithful, eventually somebody's going to see it and you're going to get rewarded for the work that you're doing. And it doesn't matter what it is. So, and I know that's true in your life because you connected with everybody. Like you said, I've met Ricky Morton about 6 different occasions. And every time the conversation gets a little bit longer, it starts with, "Hey, how you doing? It's been a while since we've seen you." And then it moves into, "What are you doing today? Oh, do you want to go out and eat something?" Or, you know, it always moves like that. Yes. And I love Ricky. I mean, I absolutely love Ricky. He's one of the best. And Carrie too. Carrie is one of the best people that I've ever met inside the wrestling business. And Ricky has always said something at the right time that hit me. And about 5 years ago, he told me, he said, one day, he said, you're not going to have to worry about money and you're not going to have to worry about where you're sleeping and you're not going to have to worry about if your car is going to be paid for. He said, one day you're just going to have it all together and then you're going to start helping other people. And I took that to heart, you know, because it meant something to me. Somebody said something that meant something to me because I really needed to hear it at the time that it was being said to me. And a couple years later, it just started to roll. It started to snowball. And, you know, I'm not to the point yet to where I don't have to worry about money and I don't have to worry about some things, but I'm getting there a little bit every day. We're getting there a little bit every day. And every time you put that shovel in the ground, you're throwing more dirt behind you and you're getting a little bit bigger and you're getting a little bit bigger and you're digging yourself out. So don't ever be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't ever be afraid to network with people, and don't ever be afraid to ask. All it takes is one time to ask, and you never know who you're going to meet that's going to change your life forever. And I know it's happened with you. You've mentioned everybody tonight. I mean, you've mentioned everybody and anybody that's inside the business that has helped change your life for the better. And that's all we can ask for is, if you get to the point, help change somebody's life. If you're at that point and you're at that level, leave the business better than you found it and change somebody's life for the better. If you can do those two things, you've been a success. It doesn't matter what anything else has happened. You're a success in life. Treat people.
And that's something that I was told to me from Ron Simmons. I met him at a show, MATW. Shout out to Brandon Bailey, Preston Quinn. And I was sitting at the show, and I just went to Ron and I asked him, I said, "You mind watching my match?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'll watch your match." And then went out there and we got busy. And I came back. He was saying, "Man, I loved it. You know, everything was good. You know, you worked very well. And the guy that you worked with, you guys look really good out there." And da da da. And I looked at him. I said, and this is when we were first getting started with the podcast. And I said, "Would you mind me asking you one question, just for the podcast, just one quick interview?" He was like, "Yeah." So went somewhere and I asked him the question. And he was like, "Ask me another question." So I asked him another question. And then he looked at me. He said, "I want to tell you something." He said, "I'm going to check in on you, and I want to see where you're at in a couple of years." He said, "Because the way that you're here with me and you're talking to me and you're looking up to me like an uncle," he said, "I'm passing that on to you. Now it's going to be your turn. Your turn is coming up. You're going to get to a point where people are going to come to you, and wrestlers and talent are going to come to you and say, 'Hey, you know, Uncle Roosevelt, you know, Uncle OG or whatever.'" You know, I get it all the time now. It's like when I first heard it, I was like, "I ain't that old. What are you talking about?" But now that I hear it more, it's more of a respect thing. It's like I was giving it to everyone that I've been saying it to. And he said, I know it's coming, and I want you to be able to do for others what I'm doing for you." You know what I'm saying? And it started working this way. It's like I started getting contact from people out of nowhere, like, "Yo, man, you know, I sat back and I had my aha moment when, you know, when I realized everything you've been trying to tell me years ago that I was too young and too ignorant to understand. I understand it now. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to really talk to me and do these different things and tell me this and tell me that. And even though I was too ignorant to listen to it, I hear you now. Now we can have real conversations because I have a better understanding of what you were trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I get it. I get it.
Well, Roosevelt, I'm going to give you last words for the night. We're about done for the evening, but before I do, we've got some sponsors that have sponsored us, and we're going to be talking about Bright Hills men's luxury skincare and beard care products. If you guys are interested, scan that QR code right there. And he's in with the big Doc Gallows. Luke Gallows out there has some skincare and beard care products as well. So for all of your needs for your skin, your soap, taking care of your beard, he's got beard oils, he's got the tongue oil, he's got the fat. Check those QR codes out right there and get yours today. All right, sir, last words.
Yeah, man. Listen, just go out there and do whatever it is you want to do, man. As long as it's legal and it's going to better you and better everyone around you, go out there and get busy, man. You only got one life to live, so you might as well live it to the fullest. We got more days behind us than we got in front of us. So go ahead and make the best of every last second, every last day that you have. You guys can check me out on all my social media stuff. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Roosevelt the Fighter. You can find me on TikTok, official_Mr. Everything. You can find me on the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You can check us out, mallmaniaevent.com to see what shows we got coming up. We got a show coming up in Vegas that we're putting together. We got a show in Nashville that we're putting together. We got a homecoming show coming up in August in Greensboro, North Carolina. Check out Blue Hearts for Autism, man. Make sure you guys know that these kids aren't different. They just think different. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to this podcast, man. Make sure y'all show my man lots of love. Make sure y'all tune in every week, man. Support independent wrestling, support wrestling all together, man. Love each other, hug each other. I'm your man. I like to fight.
Last word. Well, I've got one last question for you. Would you like to come back, and would you like to come on River City Media sometime?
You tell me what time, and I'm gonna be there, man. I'm ready. I'm there.
We'll work it out. Thank you, Roosevelt Connors, for being here tonight. I appreciate everything that you've done. And remember, guys, you heard it here first on Wrestle Talk with Rad Beaver. Stick around. Bye, guys.